Hello, we are live now for the Animal Control Board meeting on the day of August the 27th at 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, first things first is the approval of the agenda. The agenda is in front of you, printed by Charlie. So anybody had time to look over it? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Jim, can I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the minutes from the last meeting are printed as followed. There is two pages worth, probably written. Take a minute to glance over it. If there's anybody sees that any corrections need to be made, please announce and we'll do so.
Is this the time when, if there's something from the last meeting to be brought up, to bring it up?
No, it'll be under unfinished business.
Okay, I got you.
This is just go over the minutes that was reported.
Motion to approve.
Okay, on it first, can I have a second motion?
I'll second the motion.
All right, okay, all in favor of approval of minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes. All right, well, the first thing first is there any comments from the floor, from the public? Anybody like to speak up and of any upcoming issues or anything?
No?
There is no public comments, so we'll go ahead and move into item number 5, which is update of the county animal ordinances.
All right, the last commissioners meeting, I wasn't able to be there. Jim, was there to represent. And Jim, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I basically, went over what we've already went through and said, hey, we're kind of like, in fact, I made a statement, we're kind of like behind the 8 ball over the last year, because number one, we had right in the middle of trying to get a new ordinance and we really don't, basically, we can't operate unless we have an ordinance to operate with, but, I told them that, I said, I talked about the fact that in the last meeting, we had a discussion over 2 main issues that all the board wants both of these, one of the issues, I wanted the other one too, but considering, the animal control officer and a fund. And I basically told them that I tabled the fund, and that the main thing is that they need to get this thing done now. And I assume they were going to do it, but Pam did not have a copy of the new ordinance. So they tabled that until Tuesday the 2nd. And they kind of assured, if you listen to it, they kind of assured us it's going to be passed on the 2nd.
And I will be there on the 2nd.
So basically that, I also think I made a statement that we have a person was at Troy. I called Troy, talked to what's her name? Clerk. And told them that if they wanted to, that the commissioners said that you could go ahead and actually appoint the member under the understanding that the ordinance would be passed on to you. So they were supposed to do that. And the other part was that as soon as they do that, the auditor needs to contact the council about understanding that now if that's passed, then they immediately should get ready to publish for a second member appointed by the county council. That would be our 7th member. It's important. So that's basically it. And if you can go online, it's online stream, so. Okay.
Jim, and I appreciate you representing the board in my place. The other thing is the ad. You each should have a copy of it. I received this from the auditor's office. They ran the ad for the ordinance in the Perry County News for two different issues. It took up 2 pages each time. And the total amount is $2,556.84. When I spoke to him, I said I would ask the board to pay the amount, but at that time I thought it was a total of $1,500. So
That's what it costs to run something in the paper?
2 pages, 2 pages.
He's pretty high.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm bringing this to the board to see if we want to pay half of it, all of it.
I mean, we owe it, right?
Now, you
We do
mentioned
not-
something about, others not having to pay the full amount, what was that?
Well, what happens is any county ordinance that has a fee in it has to by law be in the paper. Okay, and usually it just falls under the general fund, I think is how they pay for, the ads.
Yeah.
They've never had an ad this big before, so in my mind, I would like to make a motion that we pay half of this.
Yeah.
I agree with him, but I want to make sure you understand that this board did not, at the beginning, never had a chance to actually vote on this in the first place, to put that, to do that, to pay for that. Secondly, it's the way it was done was a little bit different than it should be, and it caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
So
Sure,
here's the sad thing, the board is the one absorbing
Yeah.
half the cost.
And half of it, and I just feel like goodwill towards that, because, we've been working on this ever since I've been on this board for over 2 years.
2 years.
And if we can get this thing settled.
Yeah, if it gets settled, I pay it out of my pocket.
So I think this is just a good faith measure from our board that we're willing to pay half of it, which I calculated as $1,247.24. So I'm making a motion that we use our fund to pay that amount.
Second, all in favor of paying the amount Charlie has proposed, say aye.
Aye.
Approval is done.
Okay. One other thing, I gave the paper to Tanya. We had talked about this, when we came up with the ordinance and the tethering. And I did some research, and because that was something that we talked about maybe adding to the ordinance, but I found state statute on it now.
Right, and
Yeah.
that was already in it, and I wanted to take it a step further and have an anti-tethering, not just, I want to go by the Indianapolis rules, which is
Right.
what we've already voted on. And that's how it's supposed to be in there.
Well, I think that there will be a big kickback by the commissioners that may not approve that. I would much rather, since we already have this as a state law, that we don't have to add anything, because all law enforcement officers can enforce state ordinances. And what we need to do is just put the pressure on law enforcement to write the tickets and ask the
But
prosecutor
they're not
to follow through.
What I was getting through, they're not gonna write a ticket for a dog that stays on the chain all its life. They don't care. That's no big deal. What I proposed, what we voted on, was Indianapolis anti-tether ordinance, and it's got it all blatantly stated, what is allowed and what is not allowed. It's easy for anybody to follow.
But I don't think it would pass with the commissioner.
But we were gonna get the ordinance.
Pass
And
first,
then
and that's why
revise.
it came to my mind the other day about the tethering law, and I wasn't really sure what the statute said. And there are 2 ordinances pertaining to it, and one of them's abandonment and neglect,
Yeah,
and the other,
we'll see how far all that goes.
well, I think that someday we should make an appointment with the prosecutor and sit down with her and talk to her and see what her feelings are regarding these statutes and if she's willing to enforce them, because bottom line, it comes down to her if anything's gonna be done.
Got right to it first.
But if they may be writing them, I know the Hamilton officer, the one Hamilton officer is pretty proactive, but I don't know what all he's filed and where it went, if the prosecutor even did anything about it. So I think that may be one of our things to do, is just sit down with her and discuss these animal ordinances and see how she feels about it, and she's, if she's going to, enforce it. I know she's a big animal activist,
Yeah.
so.
Right. Well, I mean, my thing is though, is this not already set in stone? I mean, what did we vote on? Then if we're not gonna.
Well, I went back to the minutes and I couldn't find where we voted on that. I know we looked at it, but I don't remember, we didn't put it in the new ordinance about the tethering law from
No.
Indianapolis.
Right.
That was something we talked about that we would discuss after the ordinance was passed, that we would get on about the tethering, and then this is when I found this that I wasn't aware of.
Right.
I would like to try to get this enforced first, and if that doesn't work, then we can get an amendment later. That thing could be amended anytime.
Okay. Well, I agree. I think we need to get something, the ball rolling.
And as long as it took to get the ordinance passed, how long is it gonna do to amend it? So that's why I'm trying to get, things that we get on board right now.
Okay. I'm very upset about it. I'm very.
I understand, Tanya. I know you're very
I mean, I'm
passionate about it.
so tired of I don't come here because it's fun.
I know.
Okay.
I
I feel like I'm wasting my time, and it's getting old, you know what I mean, guys? And I'm not, nothing against you guys, because you're all up here doing the same thing. But what are we doing? Like, we keep writing these papers and going to these meetings and doing this and doing that. I feel like we're just beating our head against the wall. I mean, you think this ordinance is the step that we need to make that?
Yeah, I think that this is the step we need to go forward with. I was in law enforcement for 24 years, and I can tell you the two calls the police officers didn't want to hear are juveniles and animals. Because basically you couldn't do anything with either at the time. I think that, the ordinance, the way it's written now, and that we get the entities, Tell City, Troy, and Hamilton on board,
And then talk to the
and
prosecutor.
then go to the prosecutor and say, hey, all law enforcement's on board. Are you willing to carry it on?
Well, can you tell me, do you at least agree with the whole dog living on the chain and
I don't
stuff?
believe they should. But,
There's a lot of other people who don't care.
well, but the thing about it is, our society has allowed that for so long, it's second nature. It's hard to break
Right,
that.
but you can't.
Well, you can, but somebody has to enforce it.
Right, okay.
And I feel like if we get this enforced, maybe people's minds will change.
Okay.
It's just like, we're talking about these stray cats. I have a different opinion about the TNR than, Jim does.
Right.
So, pardon? Yeah.
This is already the same law.
Yeah, that's state
That's
law.
already pretty much in our,
So this should already be.
yes.
Right. But, one of the things we might do, and if you guys give me permission, I'll try to check back through the last couple of years to find how many tickets were written regarding these ordinances.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll see what happens after we
Yeah.
adopt it.
Where they go.
Remember, Robert, we can always, a county can actually add to, but cannot take
Yeah.
away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've lived here all my life, and it's been done that way, and people have a hard time with change.
Oh, yeah.
And myself, I'd much rather move one step than 3 steps backwards. So all we can do is see what happens. One other thing. On September the 11th at 5 p.m., the county council's having their what's called a public hearing special meeting for funding for next year. Any organization that asks for funding, they're asking for a representative to be there. I'm unable to be there that night. Is there anyone that can represent the board? And basically what they would be talking about, the two issues. One is the $5,000 that they appropriate for this board each year, and the other is the appropriation I put in for a part-time animal control officer. And I think it was either a 22,000 or 23,000 for a part-time.
What date was that?
That's the 11th,
September.
September 11th, Thursday at 5 o'clock. And I'm hoping somebody from this board can.
You can be there? That's
Yeah,
great.
Bob's pushing it.
Yeah. Or,
I'll be behind Robert.
okay, you too. And basically, I'll be very honest. As far as the part-time animal control, I don't see it happening, but I feel like this board should continue.
Oh, yeah, definitely keep asking.
You know, I know that we're probably dropped way down the list now because of everything else happening in other departments. Which is a shame, but there's only X amount of dollars. September 11th at 5 o'clock, yes. So I will let you have that. I'm done with that. Did have a guest come in. I don't know if she has any public comment.
Any public comments?
No, I don't think I do. I do have a question.
That's fine.
Is that a comment?
Mind coming up to the
Oh,
podium
no,
and
Oh, is that right?
most of the time you are, please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, my name is Dixie Dickerson, and I'm here to, well, I'm gonna start coming, all right? And I'm here for the next 2 months, right? The next one is on a Wednesday too, correct?
Wednesday.
Okay. I have some cats that I want to get spayed and neutered. And so in the past, I've either taken them to Dr. Kennedy or I've taken them down to the fairgrounds when they had that spay and neuter clinic come in. All right, so that's not available in Perry County, and I don't know when it's going to be. So the nearest one I found would be Lanesville, and I think it might be September something. I can't remember when. It's on a Sunday. And my question is, if I take the cats over there to be spayed or neutered, and I get the paperwork, can I bring it back to Perry County and put it in for the Humane Society for the vouchers?
That's a good question. At our meeting, we can then go ahead and address that exactly. So I suggest you come to the Humane Society meeting, this is the Animal Control Board meeting, and ask the board of I can't speak to that because I'm vice president. I will end up being president on the 9th because our president is resigning. But I have stated to the board that the board did whatever request that we'll be able to answer. Probably
Dixie,
so.
do you know that date in September?
I don't. I might have it on my phone, I'm not sure.
The other thing, there's an organization, it's Louisville, Alley Cats.
Okay.
And my understanding that you can make an appointment there and I think they only charge like $22,
$22.50.
$22.50, plus they get a rabies shot and everything
Okay,
on that project.
now, okay, so we wouldn't even want to do a voucher then. Do you know where it's at in Louisville? Is it real far? Is it real, is
We've
it,
been to it a couple times, it's right inside Louisville.
it's not hard to get to or anything like
Absolutely
that?
not.
So just make, and then do you have to,
My mom took 10 twice.
You can take
Wow.
10 a week.
okay, oh my gosh. Okay, so do you have to leave them overnight though?
Yeah.
You do have to leave them overnight.
You might have to make a
Yeah.
search trip. Now, the good thing about it is they completely, fully vet them. They kept one of them, well, it wasn't my mom's cat, it was one she had picked up somewhere. They kept it for like 2.5 weeks because it was just so sick.
They give flea and tick medicine and everything.
Okay.
Termites.
Gina said she actually ran into some guys there that were there, like, I guess they drink beer on the weekends and catch cats. And they've done it so much that they brought the same cat multiple times.
Do they mark them though?
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah, they just catch them and
Okay.
take them there.
They do be careful. They have to be caught, they have to be kept at, what's that?
Certain size carrier.
Certain size carrier. I borrowed all mine from our animal shelter,
Okay.
they loaned them on to us. Wonderful organization, and it's $22.50 a piece.
Okay,
When we did it, it was free.
So that's an option.
okay, thank you.
And in the past, again, Ann talked to the directors, and the one that we did have in Rockport, we actually paid.
You did, and I've used that several times.
So,
Yes,
but because we don't, like I said, I have to take it to the board and say, oh, we're gonna continue this, because our funds were going down like this, okay, very down.
isn't that a good thing then? Does that mean those funds are used for other things besides vouchers for cats?
Well, they're used for all kinds of things, but what I'm saying is,
Donation.
It's not coming in.
is that, we have to look at what money we got to be able to do, what we wanna do, and I think the directors should say, okay, this is what we got left. Do we have enough to continue that? Because that was supposed to be on a each basis according to the situation. Like we were doing 2 of those a year, okay?
Mhm.
And they're not coming back this year, I know that for a fact, probably back in April, they'll be back again. Okay? But I think that the directors, when this all came about, this last one, the directors weren't told ahead of time, they just decided to do that, which is fine, except the fact, I think the directors should have the control, that's what they're for.
So when you're saying directors, are you saying the directors of the Humane Society?
Yes, the directors of the Humane Society, actually, that's, our rules state that the directors actually run, not the members, the directors, then the members can have certain rights.
Okay, I'm gonna find out that date and I'll let you know this evening. And when is your date, when is the date of the meeting?
Second Tuesday of each month,
Second.
6 p.m.
Which would be the what,
The third still?
second Tuesday, the 9th?
Would be the 9th, September 9th, okay.
Yeah.
And are your meetings at the bank or
Okay, yeah,
the third?
that's their back.
Okay,
They see you. It's nice seeing you again.
thank you. Thanks.
This capacity talking about?
5,
5.
yes.
And there was a limit of how many we could do, so but like I said, you address that to the directors, and then we can definitely discuss it and follow through.
Okay, thank you.
Well, as far as, I guess, before we jump to the CAD, we probably need to work on unfinished business from last week. Jim, you wanna go ahead and take the floor on?
Okay, if you remember at the last meeting, we discussed the fact that concept of trying to come up with some kind of restricted fund, specifically for these alley cats, any place in the county, but probably mainly where the hotspots were. And we had a discussion, we tabled that. And I started thinking about that, and I said, we've got 2 more members in the next 2 months, or earlier. We got, Troy member couldn't sit here tonight, but until Tuesday, he won't be able to. And then we hopefully that the county council will get this person appointed. So we'll have 7 members, and I think we should table that until we get a full 7 members, so they have a say so.
I'd be prepared to vote on it now if anyone else would want to.
Yeah.
The fund for the stray cats, I've thought about it, and I think it's a great idea. I mean, all he's wanting to do is set up the fund. We don't know where the money's coming from. We don't know who's doing anything yet. We just have to set up a fund. It's not hurting anything. And doing something is better than what we've been doing.
Are you saying for,
I'm in agreement with it.
to approach the commissioners again?
Yeah, I have no problem with it. I would like to see it set up myself.
Tanya, again, my issue is I don't like setting up a fund without guidelines. To let people know, how do you apply for this?
Right.
How's it gonna be used? What areas are gonna be used? And again,
Well, and I see what you're saying. I
and
understand.
also another thing, and I spoke to one of the commissioners about it, and then one of the commissioners even said, a lot of times you don't want government involved in that. But that's the only way we can have a restricted fund.
Right.
But a lot of people do not want to donate to government because they're not sure that money's being used wisely and for what its purpose.
Well, okay, maybe I'm not understanding, but I thought pay like it was gonna be a government held fund, but we were gonna be the overseers.
Overseers. But we would have, we have to have some sort of guidelines, because we don't want to say, okay, we have X amount of dollars and all that goes to Tell City, that wouldn't be right.
Right,
Or all that goes to the county. We
Right.
have to come up with guidelines on what meets the requirements.
Mhm.
Another thing is, who's going to do this?
well, see, that's the whole thing, is like, I think we're cutting down something that could be very useful, just like this alley cats. I think that's the big, I'm comparing it a lot to that. You got people, I've got messages for a week now of people that got 20-something cats. Yeah, they feed them because they can't stay and sit and watch them starve to death. So now they're their cats. No, they're not. No, they're not. I don't care what you say, they're not. But they need help. They don't want those 20 cats. They don't want them breeding.
Are
But they
these
can-
animals in the county or in the city?
They're all over.
Okay. Tell City has an ordinance.
Mhm.
In their ordinance, it says if you feed them, you become responsible. And I've been pushing for Troy and Hamilton to say the same thing, because when you're gonna get in a situation where, let's say we go to this trapping situation, and they come out and they say, you can't do that. I had reports, over in the middle of, Tell City, a family was getting tired of all these cats, so they were trapping them. The neighbor who owned the cats or feeds the cats would come over and let them out of the traps. So,
Well, I believe you're gonna have issues.
yeah.
There's gonna be issues that it needs to work out. When Gina's mom took them to, Louisville, hell, I think she got 2 or 3 neighbors' cats too. I don't know. I shouldn't say, but I think we've got to start
Somewhat,
somewhere.
I agree with you, that's the whole reason that I came up with it,
Start
because
somewhere.
there is no money being spent
No,
towards it.
and like
We just-
United Way has a deal where people, it just comes, I don't know how it works, I haven't found all that out, but I would be willing to put $5 a week of my check into it every week, and if we could get so many people to do that, there's that fund, and just start it, and then we'll go from there,
Again, the only way I would be in favor of it is, they could start the fund, let it build,
Yeah.
and during that time, we sit down and come up with guidelines. I don't want
What's your
to
motion?
spend any money without any guidelines.
I
What's your
agree.
motion?
Well, from my standpoint, I think any step in any direction that will help
Right.
the animals, because right now we're just sitting there.
Yes, I feel some over it.
And I couldn't see it hurting, just taking a step in any kind of direction that will
What's your
help the
motion?
animals in this town.
There was a
I'll make
post
a motion to vote on it.
on Facebook about the person that's been feeding 10 to 15
Yeah.
cats in Hamilton. And anyway, she is going to load them up and
Yes.
take them to the alley cats. And anyway, there was a plea kind of for donations.
Yeah,
They're done. They're
yeah,
sponsored.
people sponsor.
They're
Within like
sponsored.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it was
done.
sponsored, right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if something like,
People are willing to help.
I think they are, money wise.
Yes.
They probably wouldn't take them. They don't want to feed the cat. They don't want to doctor the cat. But I do believe they're willing
I
to
think if they
support.
see the county attempting to do something, they're gonna be more willing to help.
And my whole thing is like, we donate so much that I cut it off completely. I don't donate no more. If I feel
We
like
donate
I
to
wanna
Kennedy.
be generous, I will adopt a dog at the shelter. I've done it a couple times now.
Well,
a lot-
yesterday would have been the perfect time, because it was $8.26 to adopt.
Yesterday was it?
Yeah.
Anyways,
We
so
need a
my
hundred
money, if I was going to, because I know there was an issue last week about the whole, oh, it's not gonna go here, it's not gonna go there. You couldn't sway me to, and I'm not being mean, but you couldn't make me donate mine to stray cats. I'm just not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Stray dogs, sure. A horse, maybe. Cats aren't my thing. I don't hate them.
You didn't
They're just
donate
not
to
my
the
thing.
stray cats that you hauled to the vet?
Well, I did take a couple of them because these they weren't my buddies. But my whole thing is, some people, that's their thing.
Yeah.
That's my mom's thing. My mom's burnt the tires off her car going to alley cats, So, but like me, you couldn't make me, because like I said, I prefer to help a few of my friends that do like their own rescue, or I do the shelter here in town.
What is
because the shelter, to me, has done a lot of things that isn't out in the open that everybody sees.
Yeah.
They've helped someone that I know personally a ton, so that's where I like my money to go. Some people that are into caskets, that's where they like their money to go.
I think they would just like, the public would just like to see something.
Oh, yeah,
They will.
my dog is a cat
Especially
killer,
with the
and
Yeah.
I don't know how many people has said, would you let your dog go in our alley for about an hour? No, that's not a good answer. But I just think that,
Tell me, are you gonna make a motion?
Well, Robert had a comment I'd like to
Yeah,
hear.
what would be the downside to this fund getting approved? Because really the only one I see is the fund just not getting any money. But if we shoot it down now, then
Right,
we're shooting down an
again,
opportunity.
I don't want you to think I'm shooting it down. Like I said, I always like to have a plan before we do it. And I think when you're dealing with government, that's one of the requirements that they have. You have to have a plan. As far as that now, going back to the TNR, I've been reading up on this and watching videos, and one of the things that I've noticed is that when they find an area, a hot spot, as Jim calls it, that they go into that area and they talk to the people around. Because TNR is you trap and you release back. I know some of the hot spots in Campbellton are up there by that restaurant, and that guy does not want those cats back. He wants them gone. So are we gonna cause some other issues by interfering there? I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing, because I've already addressed this, I've already suggested. The problem we've got with other than TNR is we don't have we do not have a set up location, we do not have an animal control officer. So if all of us now, if you would say, okay, let's get rid of these cats, and the public finds out, then there goes all the funds going down. My point, and that's the whole purpose of that was, let's create a TNR, let's go to the different factories, letters to the Chamber of Commerce, let's go to the businesses, everything else, make our thing heard, and then get a restricted fund so that their money can be sent to something, and then decide exactly, because it would be up to this board, who gets it and how.
And right now, all we're voting on is to give you permission to ask for it.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
I agree, I'm glad that somebody's got positive
Wait.
thing, but I was ready to table it just until we had a full 7-member board. But you make the motion, I'll listen to you.
I would like one stipulation,
What's that?
that if the board the board passes this and it goes to commissioners, they set up the fund and money starts coming in, that no money will be taken out until.
I agree.
That's my only stipulation.
I agree.
I'm in favor of it. I don't want somebody saying, well, you got this money and you started using it right away and there was no guidelines.
I agree.
That's my only
Also,
stipulation.
on that same note, Charlie, with our fund that we have, it's welfare, education control, correct? Why couldn't we help with some of these vet bills for stray cats and stuff when people come in, if they have to
Good
euthanize
question.
one?
I think that's something that the county attorney would probably, in my mind, as you say, it falls under that, but, there's limited funds.
Well,
Right.
Look at what Dixie just said.
Yeah.
She's got 5 cats. Probably 3 of them at least were alley cats, or all 5 of them. I have no idea how many of these were alleys.
They're all,
Straight.
as in stray,
Yeah.
okay, Ally means stray.
Right.
You know what? I'll just tell you one little story. The one that's mine, is the one I picked up off the highway that I took over to Dr. Kennedy, and he told me it was a little bitty kitten. He told me it was probably thrown out of a car.
So I want to ask, would you say 3 out of your 5 and these are alley cats?
Sure.
Take care of?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So here's the point.
They started that way.
She's, as a citizen, coming to us right now. And she said, I got a problem, help me. And if we already had that thing working and they're operating, say, how many people want to help that?
Yeah, we could vote right here.
Right there, then all of us, we could help. That would bring more people in.
Yeah, I mean, so.
And one of the other things, on the TNR, one of the things I would like, if we go to that program and have that program, that it's understood that if a cat is trapped and it's sick,
Oh, yeah.
it humanely euthanize.
Yeah. agree.
because I don't wanna bring, because
I think we should.
that's why the shelter is very picky on the
Oh, yeah.
animals they bring in, because a year or so ago, all the cats were wiped out
Yeah,
because of feline fever.
I think we could
We
get some
have to
pointers
have-
from the Sally Cats on how they operate, you know, I just, like I said, I think get the fund set up and we don't spend nothing until we figure some stuff out.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion, let's vote.
I'll second the motion.
What is the motion though?
I make a motion to vote on Jim going to the commissioners to ask for a fund to be set up.
Second the motion.
You got a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion too, because like I say, it sounds like now sounds like we have more of a plan than what we did the last.
Yeah, it was just tossed around.
And like I say, and I would think, but I would like to get a timely setup, you know, since we got the control ordinances behind us,
Right.
pretty much behind us now. This would be the next thing to pencil in and get it done, taken care of. But I like to, like I say, like to get it done by December, by the beginning of the new
Yeah,
year.
I
That's the
agree.
case.
Well,
I mean, it should take, if the commissioner's okay.
Yeah.
September, you know, next Tuesday, if they say, if we say the board's approved this, we're requesting that this fund, it takes no time
So
for
what do
the
they do,
auditor.
just start a bank account somewhere?
No, the auditor will run the auditor's
And
office.
like if you're wanting to donate to it, you get an account number or something.
she'll have a special.
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll have an account.
So it can be really pretty easy.
Yeah, and the restriction does two things. Number one, it keeps the fund from continuing after December
Right.
31st.
Like our fund, usually goes back to the general fund if we don't
Okay.
spend that 5,000.
I was wondering,
Yeah.
okay,
It doesn't roll over.
that's great, yeah.
Well, I've already forgotten everything. I'm getting too old. I know it was, I can't remember. I'm excited because everybody's starting to understand.
Yeah, I understand.
That we
You wanna
fund is
take a
important.
vote?
Let's make, yeah, let's do.
Okay, Chairman.
Well, we'll take, vote to pursue this restricted fund and get the wheels started on that, and then, like I say, it'll help. If anything more, I thought about it, I think it'll help lighten the load out of the shelter.
Yes.
If we would, like, just say, put it towards the Alley Cat program even.
Right.
Any other spay and neuter would help.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you think about it, that's gonna, you spay one cat, that's gonna save how many babies?
You wouldn't believe me.
And, yep, and throughout their whole life even, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a start to help maybe lighten the load on the shelter even. It's not gonna make a major impact, but
I think it's
one
gonna take
animal
years
is
to
one
make
animal
an
they didn't have
impact.
before, so.
You may be surprised.
Yeah.
So,
And those vouchers from the Humane Society have been huge. If
They
people
have
use
been.
them, they're so helpful.
It's just like a lot of people sometimes don't have the money to pay it,
Exactly.
you know, and that's not anyone's fault.
No, it's quite expensive to do
Right.
it.
Especially since it went through the effort to catch it.
Yeah, right,
And here is the problem.
exactly.
And I understand that situation. Ann said we need to get as many neuter space as possible, but they're working on mostly, and if shelter's only got limited funds, so really, it's got its own problems. But our funds are going down like this, and I said, the public, that's why I went to the Chamber of Commerce and to the public. We've got to get other people to help the Humane Society do these things, because the Humane Society can do a lot of this work far the board. But if there's certain things I have to go in front of the board, that would be that way, but I really think this restricted fund is a start. Instead of them, we have no money, you gotta have some kind of money to do something. And in your case, if you would have came here and we had that fund, they could vote on that tonight to help you, right tonight. So,
And I think that will maybe get more people involved in coming here and seeing what exactly we do, you know, if they think that we're gonna help them with their stray cats, probably have them lined up out the door.
don't ask Adam about the stray cows though, this is a completely different.
I get rid of them, I just load them up and haul them off. They're worth too much money right now, like gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so we voting?
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and vote, since we've got motion, it was all in favor of the, creating or getting a restricted fund towards, not creating, but going towards the county and see if we can't see if we can get them on board. All in favor, I guess, say aye.
Aye.
I guess it'll, but like I say, we gotta have our stipulations, we've gotta have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they do approve of it, we need to get, I mean,
Yeah, start working on
I'd
it.
say ASAP, get our guidelines and everything and ducks in a row on
We
that.
may even make just a trip up to Alley Cats just to see what kind of information we can get.
That might be,
Yeah,
that would be a
that
big
would be a
plus.
big help.
Yeah,
I was gonna call them and find out, but
yeah,
I
They're hard to
think
get on
that
the
if the commissioners okay this fund, I think at the next meeting, we should discuss some of the stipulations.
then we're gonna get a case of beer and go sit in the hot spot.
No, I don't drink. Remember, I'm a dare officer.
You don't either. You don't even drink either.
Well, it sounded cool.
All right.
All right, well, sir, since basically, that was the only unfinished business we had from the last meeting. As far as new business brought up, we probably need to, since school's back in session, we probably need to start doing something with the
Yeah.
education part.
Right.
You know, even if we can't get, like, I know he's saying something about the curriculum, being an issue. Could we buy something for the kids just to, send out their stickers or whatever kids like
We've got all
nowadays?
that stuff up there in the,
Yeah, right.
we bought, Robert, you weren't aware of this, but, we bought these little etch-a-sketches.
Oh, we
In
still
fact,
have
yeah,
those.
they're still sitting up there at the
Yeah.
shelter.
I mean, let the teachers hand them out and just
And
put our name.
there's a bag that, has our, information, and I think it also has the shelter and the Humane Society. I think all three of them are listed on there.
Yeah, let's go
We
check
could
that
just
out.
make those bags up and deliver.
Yeah, right. Until we figure out what else to do.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
For as far as a day or a week maybe to do this, how about I just Googled, National Pet Day 2026, which would be April the 11th. It's on a Saturday, but we could do that. Shoot for that. Maybe I need to save or get that. Just try to get that day that weekend penciled in
Well.
for that day.
It's set up
How
somewhere.
about this, set up somewhere, see if the shelter will bring some of the adoptable animals there, and just have like a little
Yeah,
get together. We probably could, have some sort of snacks.
yeah. Those some hot
Yeah,
dogs or
just to
something, drinks.
People in and give that stuff out.
What is the celebration, Adam? April the 11th, you said?
It's National Pet Day.
Oh, National Pet Day.
Yeah.
That might,
Yeah, yeah.
that way it covers all pets and not just
Not just
dogs and cats. Everybody's pets are different.
Adam
And
likes
there are
cats.
some dog lovers and then there's some cat lovers there, so.
April the 11th.
But is there some type of a festival going on? That's not Dogwood Festival or anything, is it? I mean, I think I wish we would have thought of this at Schweitzer Fest and
Yeah,
had a little tent or something
Yeah.
like that. I think that to tie it in with something
Yeah.
where there's already gonna be people there would make a huge
Dogwood is
difference.
That might not be a bad idea.
yeah,
Yeah, we're already basically looking for 2026 now.
yeah.
And by the way, Dixie, where you're at, do you know anybody that would be interested in being on this board? Because it's gonna be published probably within, 2 weeks. Once this is passed, then the county council then can appoint someone, but they have to put it in the paper like this other thing.
Like you yourself could put in for it.
No, I'm serious, if you know anybody, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah.
Anybody that's interested, have them put their name,
Where do you file your name? Where do you?
The county council
Some
will.
sort of activity that's countywide.
Isn't it Dogwood Festival? Isn't it
Okay.
Dogwood Festival in April?
And I will check.
That'd be something to check with the conduct.
I mean, even if we like had to start something like we done usually, like Halloween, we had some kind of booths. All right, I will get on that. Surely.
Campbellton has that trunk and treat thing,
Oh, yeah.
and they're doing it inside, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm
Yeah.
or for beer.
I could reach out and try to get some information and next meeting.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
could
I think
discuss
that'd be
that.
great if we can't go in
If
this
you get that
space.
stuff on Alley Cats.
I'll definitely be on it.
I think right now is, What we ran into was last year, they needed a written curriculum. We were gonna use some, YouTube videos, but we had to be careful on that, the content of the videos, because, apparently schools have to send out permission slips to students for,
What they watch?
Yeah.
Wow.
so, and it just, everything, they started having their I-step tests and all that, and I mean,
Yeah.
every time we tried to do something else came up, and then the weather last year. But I will, between now and the next meeting, I will reach out to the 3 schools and see if they would like that, or if, we could just deliver that stuff out there to
Yeah,
them,
right.
just to get.
Are you gonna target a certain grade level or?
We had talked about K-4.
Oh.
Because, see, one of the things I'd always said was a lot of these animals that are strays started out as a child's pet,
Yeah.
that, as you know, a kitten doesn't stay a kitten long, and they don't realize this. And once the kitten gets bigger and it scratches the little one the first time, a lot of times they get taken away. And probably, I know my kids had more peer pressure on me when they wanted something, and that's usually how a child ends up with a pet, because they talk their parents into it. So that's why we wanted to hit that age group. And like with the YouTube videos, we would have to have, different ones for different age groups. We talked about a virtual, a Zoom from the shelter itself, and her doing a chair, because liability wise, we, they had questions about us bringing animals out there. If somebody got, injured, who would be responsible? Taking them there is not a good thing because of transportation. So, but I'm willing for any suggestions on that.
The last thing I want to say for that is, once this, on Tuesday, if they pass this, then we immediately go to a 7-member board. Then we have to have 4, we have to have 4 members to be able to vote on anything, so it changes from 3 to 4. But we need some kind of a quorum where we also need a vice chairman and a secretary. So that's all in the new restaurant. They did not the new one, and here does not have A, B, C, D, or one, Title 1 or whatever.
Right.
It's just paragraphs of article.
She's not complaining.
Oh.
She's just.
No.
That's my mom, a cat stealer.
That's the cat lady?
Yeah. That's the Campbellton cat lady right there.
So, one of the things that we're gonna have to also change is, the old ordinance, Article 1, Article 2.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
There is no Article 1, Article 2. It goes underneath each item. So I think if we make changes, make sure that those are we can ourselves set our own dates on items on this. In other words, if you read this, if you read, you'll see there's not like it was written before.
Right.
Under the ordinance, it just says the Animal Welfare Board established, and then it goes A, B, C.
Yeah,
So I think we need to have those actually titled.
right.
And probably it would be a bad idea when we do get the 7th member is have bylaws for the board
Mhm.
Yes.
established.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm thank you very much for tonight. I'm just thanking you for thinking about what you said, because I thought about it for about 2 months, and I said, we gotta come up with some kind of way to make money, to put money in there.
Well, I've been dealing with stray cats for like the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, this is stupid. We gotta do something. You know?
And I know that
Something's better than nothing.
Well,
I know 2 people on board in Portland that they're very high seniors in their 80s.
Yeah,
And they took in their 1 or 2 cats, and now they got.
right. That's what a lot of these people are on fixed incomes, and
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, Tanya, that out there on 19th Street, those stray cats that are across the street from, I've had them fixed.
How
So,
many is there?
there's two that run
Oh, that's
in and out of my mother-in-law.
That's not even cats.
Up there by my house, I had them
But
all.
they were having kittens.
Talk to me when you got 35 or 40.
All right, well, I guess that was pretty much new business brought up and start on the education part.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else can think of anything else. Bring that up. I feel like it's one thing that we've kind of been lackluster on in the last year, but because we've been so busy wrapped up in the ordinances and stuff.
Yeah.
Time to get back to our basics again. All right, well, okay, this next thing is the animal pads that were sent to you via email.
Well, did you get them on? Oh, they did.
If I have a chance to go look at them.
Did everybody get, I sent you a copy of the new ordinance, oh, well. the
Yeah,
updated
I got
ordinance.
that.
Did you get one? Yeah, I wasn't sure. Jim, I know you don't like computers, but. But one thing I'd like, if it's all right, is to ask Robert, since he is the newest member and I know he's got some new ideas, did you see anything that we need to start focusing more towards?
I mean, I had written some stuff up. I had about 2 pages worth at home, but.
Okay. That or you could, if you
Yeah,
have,
email it.
email it to us, so we can look it over and then be able to discuss it next meeting. I know a lot of people get involved in committees and they sort of stand back, and I want you to be involved.
Yeah,
because your experience is gonna be very helpful. I want you to know that.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it right now. I'm gonna look into some more of the education stuff and see if I can get a curriculum going. So
That'd
that
be
can bring
great.
to you guys.
That would be
That would be great. Well, as far as the bites and the CADs, again, I think we're in the same situation. They're family pets in most cases. They're trying to, say, break up a fight between two dogs, or they're trying to play with the dog and take their toy away and they get bit. The one thing that was brought up, one of the bites was a gentleman that got a little mouthy with the sanitarian. When she went to investigate it, he didn't think it was any of their place to be able to ask these questions. And just for the public to realize that whenever a bite report is made, that's under state statute. That is a law that they have to conform.
It was his dog,
and
wasn't
get
it?
that
Wasn't
information.
that what he was upset about? It was his dog?
It was his dog,
Yeah.
but he didn't think he should have to
Yeah.
release information. But by state statute, you
Yeah.
do, whenever, even if it bites its owner, because the report has to be made.
All right, so we'll go into the CADs and bite reports, I guess, getting down towards the end of the meeting. Just a reminder, our next meeting will be, since there is Wednesday,
24th.
23rd, or yeah, 24th.
24th. And then we'll be back on Wednesday.
Back on Wednesday. Yeah. September 24th at 6 o'clock. Here. Well, can I make a motion to join the meeting at 6:55?
Second.
First and second, all in favor of joining the meeting at 6:55, say aye. Aye. Meeting is over. We're in live stream at 3, 2, 1.
I think you should do it.
All right, well, I'm getting to do